Lucy aims to attain professional success while staying true to her principles. She enters into a fierce competition with her efficient rival Joshua, even as her feelings for him become more complex. The movie opens with 28-year-old Lucy Hutton at her desk in Bexley & App Gaiman Publishing, where she, alongside Joshua Templeman, assists the co-CEOs Helene Pascal and Richard Bexley. Lucy despises Joshua Templeman, and her mornings are filled with thoughts of her disdain for him. They often engage in immature and unprofessional games, turning every task into a rivalry. Each sees the other as their sworn enemy. Lucy constantly strategizes on how to outperform Joshua and handle her tasks. She notices that he frequently wears various shades of blue, but she can't help wondering why she thinks about him when she should dislike him. She quickly refocuses on her work. In the next scene, both are summoned to a meeting with the CEOs, where significant news is about to be revealed. Mr. Bexley and Helene both desire their executive assistant to assume the role of Chief Operating Officer when they announce the new position. They exchange serious glances, neither wishing for the other to emerge victorious. In that moment, Lucy can't stop thinking about how to outmaneuver Josh, with him occupying all her thoughts. She yearns for him to regret challenging her, just as his actions have disrupted her work and mindset. She begins to plan her next moves. After intensifying her rivalry with Josh, Lucy returns home and calls her mother. Her mother suggests finding a man for the weekend, but Lucy claims she's going out with her girlfriends. Her mother questions why she isn't dating the guy from the office she often talks about, leaving Lucy pondering why Josh is always on her mind. With that thought, Lucy goes to sleep and has an intimate dream about Josh. She awakens in the middle of the night, contemplating that vivid dream, and entertains a daring idea: to seduce Josh to get inside his head and create a situation that could put his job in jeopardy, just as hers has been affected. The next day, with her daring plan in mind, she dresses in a short, elegant black dress to catch his eye. When she arrives at the office, Josh notices her and asks if she's got a date. She fibs, saying she's dressed up because she's going on a date. Josh inquires about the venue, and she again fibs about it, claiming it's a place he coincidentally mentions he's also heading to. Lucy feels increasingly uncomfortable, especially when he asks if someone from the office will be there, to which she falsely says yes. In reality, she dressed up to impress Josh. She heads downstairs and asks designer Danny to join her, as he doesn't believe her story. Josh, who secretly has feelings for Lucy, becomes more interested in her and her date upon seeing her in the black dress. While on the elevator, Josh offers her a ride, but she declines, saying she'll walk to the cafe. Josh points out her high heels, expressing concern that she might hurt her feet. Lucy becomes irate but calms down as they stand close to each other. Their eyes meet and they share a moment of connection. Unable to contain himself, Joshua kisses her in the elevator. When the elevator stops, they both feel awkward. In a hushed atmosphere, Josh drops her off at the cafe where Danny is waiting for her. Josh offers Lucy his umbrella as it's raining outside, but she declines and hurries out of the car. She enters the cafe and greets Danny, but her mind is still occupied by the kiss. She excuses herself to go to the restroom. Josh unexpectedly appears, and she scolds him for spoiling her evening. She wonders how easily a man can manipulate her and notes that she looks nice in the black dress. Josh clarifies that he didn't mean to ruin her night. He came to return her forgotten bag and insists on accompanying her to her date. She's surprised that she agrees, but she remains upset with Josh for disrupting her plans. The next day, she searches Joshua's desk for evidence against him and finds some codes in his day planner that she can't decipher. The mailman delivers a hard-to-find Smurf figurine to Lucy, adding to her collection. Joshua criticizes her for being overly concerned about others' opinions and pokes fun at her upbringing on a strawberry farm, unintentionally making her feel lonely and homesick. The following day, she receives roses with a note saying, "You're always gorgeous." She suspects Danny is the sender. She goes to work feeling happy, and Josh asks if they can forget about the previous night's kiss. Lucy agrees, and Josh suggests they play a different game. She suggests they act like normal colleagues instead of constantly fighting, which earns her an odd look from Josh. Just then, their boss walks in and inquires about a campaign, and Lucy begins sharing her ideas for the new promotions. Josh steps in and dismisses Lucy's idea as boring, mentioning that he's always proposed a paintball game for promotion, which has been approved. At that moment, Lucy briefly envisions doing something drastic to Josh, but she quickly regains her composure and agrees, saying, "Okay, let's go with a gun game." The next day, Josh's idea becomes a reality, and everyone participates in a paintball game at work to build team spirit. As they prepare for the game, Lucy appears pale, and Josh notices, mentioning that she has a fever. She ignores his concern and joins the game. Danny approaches Lucy, suggesting they team up, but Josh intervenes, saying the teams are pre-selected and Lucy and Josh are a team. During the game, Lucy is determined to win, and Josh tries to shield her from being hit. However, she remains stubborn and puts herself in harm's way, ending up injured. Both of them tumble to the ground, and Josh calls for a halt to the game. As Lucy removes her helmet, Josh realizes she's running a high fever. Before she can react, she vomits on Josh. While he cares for her deep down, he doesn't show it and instead takes her back to her home. Realizing there's no one else to look after her, he stays to provide care. She requests that he leave, but just as he's about to comfort her, she vomits once again. Josh calls his brother, as his whole family is filled with doctors to check on Lucy. After examining her, Josh's brother recommends rest and goes to another room to prescribe medicine for her. Overhearing Joshua speaking to his brother Patrick, a doctor, about marriage and inviting him to see Lucy, she becomes intrigued. Joshua is persuaded by Patrick to attend the wedding and bring Lucy along. Afterward, Josh puts Lucy to bed, and in the morning he prepares breakfast and tidies up her house. Lucy finds this behavior strange and asks him not to use any of their workplace tactics, which angers Josh, leading him to leave abruptly. When Lucy returns to the office, Danny approaches her with flowers and escorts her to her office. After he leaves, she notices strawberry juices on her desk, something she mentioned to Joshua Knight when she was unwell. Lucy and Joshua grow closer as a result of her illness. Lucy realizes that she no longer despises him. Joshua becomes upset after he kisses Lucy on the cheek and invites her to dinner that evening. When she finds the juice on the table and sees the card, she figures out that the flowers from earlier in the week were sent by Josh. She feels embarrassed because she had bragged about Danny giving her all the flowers. Wanting to express her gratitude, she asks Josh if there's anything she can do to repay the favor, like attending his brother's wedding. Initially resistant, Josh eventually finds himself pushed into a storeroom by Lucy. There, she confesses her desire to return the favor, and things heat up as she asks him to kiss her. Josh advises her to save the kiss for Danny that night, and if she still feels he's the only one who can kiss her like that, he'll wish them well. Later, Lucy and Danny share a kiss, but she realizes she feels nothing, and they decide to remain friends. She encounters Joshua on the street outside his home, and after explaining that no one can kiss her like he does, they share a passionate kiss. Lucy notices that the bedroom in Joshua's flat is painted robin's egg blue. He tells her he won't have sex with her because he wants more than just a one-time encounter. She tries calling Joshua after work, but hangs up out of impulse. He calls her back, and they agree she should come over to his place. They make out once more, but Joshua refrains from kissing her. Joshua decides to inform Mr. Bexley that he no longer wishes to unseat Lucy from the job position, feeling as though he has used her. Joshua feels uneasy when he meets Danny for coffee to discuss her interview presentation. The next day, as they prepare to leave for the wedding, Joshua tells her to bring her weekend bag to work. Lucy overhears Joshua and Mr. Bexley having a heated argument the following day. She's concerned about what's going on, but nobody is willing to divulge the details. During the journey to the wedding, Joshua and Lucy flirt and openly express their mutual attraction to each other. She confesses that he was the subject of the erotic dream she had, and that she only went on a date with Danny because she had fabricated having met someone else. Joshua and Lucy have a great time at the hotel, but things take a somber turn when Joshua's mother, Elaine, calls and asks for help with the wedding decorations. Joshua appears upset during the wedding, and Lucy eventually discovers that the bride, Mindy, was Joshua's ex-girlfriend. She speculates that he might have brought her as a rented date. Elaine reassures Lucy that this is not true, and that she is unique and distinct from anyone else Joshua has been involved with. Joshua stops Lucy from leaving, explaining that he doesn't need her support for Mindy, but rather requires comfort due to the heartache caused by his father, Anthony. They share a meaningful moment that evening, which Lucy finds deeply special. The next morning, they enjoy another close connection in the shower. At the wedding brunch, Lucy stands up for Joshua, highlighting his wonderful qualities to Anthony. Joshua and Lucy return to the city, openly acknowledging their strong feelings for each other. Joshua reveals that he has felt this way for a while. Lucy feels appreciated when she notices that his bedroom was deliberately painted the color of her eyes. As she admires the painting, Josh tells her that he cares for her and wishes to put an end to their conflicts and be together. Lucy initially hesitates, concerned about the impact of their relationship on their work. Joshua reassures her and asks her to relax and focus solely on them. They both agree to start anew that night. The following day, Lucy overhears a conversation between Josh and their boss, mistakenly believing that Josh has been using their relationship to divert her attention from the promotion. Frustrated, she becomes determined to outdo Josh for the job. She confides in Danny, expressing her belief that Josh is telling the truth and that he might love her. In reality, he does indeed have feelings for Lucy, occupying his thoughts constantly. However, he has a hidden plan and was merely pretending during the conversation with the CEO. After a challenging competition, everyone gathers in the hall. Lucy anticipates that Josh has been appointed as the new operations director. Instead, he surprises her by announcing that he is switching positions, and she will take on the role of Bexley and Gaiman's new COO. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.